What's up, YouTube? Now you see the title of this video, and you see the picture on the screen. you know, starting out my video kind of like David Carroll would, because as you see the picture on the screen, if any of you know uh, about the Honorable David Carroll, you know he does his memes with all of his videos that he does. And this is one of his memes. This is not something that I've made or anything that I've just found. This is from one of David Carroll's videos that he did, and I decided to put this meme on this video because it pretty much it's pretty much the situation we're dealing with here. As I say, you see the title of the video, so you already know what we're gonna talk about, and I'm gonna just get right into it. And I've been sitting back as I normally do. I say this in almost every video, looking at the content from these niggas in the black sector of YouTube, where these savages make their content. And when I'm talking about the black sector YouTube, I'm not talking about the sector that's normal and all that. I'm talking about the toxic sector where you got these niggas engaging in toxicity and just dumb shit. And normally from time to time I'll look at what goes on in a toxic sector of YouTube and look at uh more directly. I'm talking about the the black female content creators on YouTube that spew their hatred and venom towards black men. I'm looking at the dumb shit they're doing and posting and whatnot, and as usual, laughable song. I'm sitting back laughing, and I'm looking at, of course, black men too who upload toxic content and laughing. But then, I have certain content creators that I support, and I find their content to be, very, very eye opening, very informative. Gives very good advice. Speaks on a very wide, a very wide, a very wide view. What basically what I'm trying to say is they speak on a lot of topics. A lot of topics they speak on. They talk about a lot of things that are important and have a lot of good information. So I'm sitting back and I'm looking at and I've mentioned this YouTuber before many times. One YouTuber that I watch every now and then. He goes by the name of Red Supreme TV1. Now I think he has multiple channels, I think, but there's one of the channels that I was looking at, Red Supreme TV1, and he was talking about. There's been a lot of swirling incidents gone wrong recently in the past couple weeks, and I actually have seen a lot of them, and I was thinking about making videos on them, but I'm gonna be honest, I really either I don't got the time to make the video, as in, well, no, it's not really the time. I'm gonna be honest. It's more so I just, I I'm doing other things that I'd rather do than just freaking sit back and talk about these swirling situations going wrong. And it's not like I'm not saying it's something that shouldn't be talked about, but it's just for me, I'm doing other things, other hobbies, out doing stuff. I'm just like, fuck it, whatever. I might make the video later or something. It's just what's going on in my mind. I'm not really thinking about it at the time. I'm doing other shit. But I'm watching Red Supreme TV1, and he's talking about these swirlers who have been offed by Brads, and these are things that have been happening for like not only the past couple weeks, but the past months. I mean, the past year, and every single time you have a white man who kills one of these black women who are swirling, none of the divestors talk about it. None of these women who sit around all day bashing black men, they won't address it. They'll never talk about when Brad kills a black woman. They'll never do it. And this one, and as you see the title of this video, so you already know what we're talking about. And This is once again, we're just gonna get into once we get into the full topic. I'm gonna show you, and even I'm gonna foreshadow something that's coming down the pipe, as David Carroll would say. Since I got his picture on the screen with his memes, I'm gonna use some of his terminology. I'm gonna I'm gonna let y'all know what's coming down the pipe for some of you black men who may be watching this, and even some black women who you know see the bullshit that goes on with these niggas as well. It maybe even any non-black people. For any of you, you apes, you savages, you black men and black women who are gonna disagree with this, because to be honest, there's no way you can disagree with this. There's no way you can argue this. I'm sorry, what I'm about to present cannot be debated. It's just facts, and you can only look at it and be like, yeah, that's hypocritical. There's no debating this shit. So for any of you apes, you savages that are gonna watch this and are gonna talk your dumb shit, any non-black person, any white dude, any white woman who will watch this and will try to debate it, it just shows that you have hatred for black men. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm coming on here to speak at the hypocrisy when it comes to these black women on social media and how they report on black men who do stuff like this, and when we have white men who do stuff like this. And what do you mean? What do I mean by stuff like this? Well, like I said, I was watching Red Supreme TV One, and I've been seeing the incidents of Brads killing black women. There's been numerous amounts, but the one in particular that I want to address, just one of them, is it was a white man in Florida, and this actually got kind of a little bit of press. I think Fox News even reported on it. So we know that these queens, these so-called queens, these strags, we know they saw this story. All the black women who sit around and bash black men all day and find stories of black men killing black women and report on it and talk about and try to make it seem like it's the collective of black men. We know they saw this story. We know they've seen it. They see every story when they're like anytime it's a black man, if it was a black man who had done that, they would have talked about it. But because it's a white man, they're not going to address it. And I'm going to explain to you why. For some of y'all who may not know, why is it that when a black man kills a black woman, they want to make it seem like Satan himself has committed a crime, but when a white man does it, they say nothing. If y'all want to know why, I'll explain it later in the video. And the picture on the screen may even give it away. But I'm going to explain why in detail why they do this. And I'm also going to explain why you should not take it serious. When these women report on black men harming black women, don't take it serious. For the women who make constant videos bashing black men, but when a white man does something to a black woman, they say nothing. If you see that, if you see them only reporting, if you look through their catalog and you see that they only talk about when black men do something to black women, but when white men do it, they don't say nothing. Just don't take them serious, because you know there's something else to it. And I'm gonna explain that later on in the video. But right now, I want to finish up on what I was saying. So you had this black woman in Florida who she was killed by a Brad she was dating. I believe they worked at the same place. I believe it was Applebee's. And basically, they worked at the same place. They ended up dating, whoop de whoop, you know how it goes. And throughout the whole relationship, the white dude was always beating on her. They constantly got into arguments and fights, and she stayed with him. And if you go watch the video of the report on it, of this black woman getting killed by this white man, that happened in Florida literally like a week ago. If you go watch the video that was done where they were talking to some of her friends, even they were saying, I don't know why she stayed with him. He would always beat on her, and they always had problems. And you know I'm gonna answer that question too later on in the video. I don't want to give it up because it's all gonna come to a conclusion. So I don't want to answer the question as to why, but I'm gonna answer. Some of y'all may already know the answer why, but I'm gonna answer why she stayed with him even though he beat her. And this white dude she was messing with had multiple accounts of domestic violence against women. He had been arrested over a dozen times. The white dude had been arrested over a dozen times. I don't. I think it was like almost 20 times. But yeah, he had been arrested almost. He had been arrested. He had been arrested over a dozen times. He, in all of those cases, pretty much for the most part, were all domestic violence against women. So he was known for beating. He was known for beating on women. This was nothing. I mean, it was known. The dude was arrested numerous times, as I said, for domestic violence. And she stayed with the man. He's beating on her. They constantly breaking up and I guess getting into arguments and whatnot. And sooner or later, come to find out that you know he ended up killing her. And he ended up killing her, and he ended up dumping her body in the woods. Now, we all know that if this was a black man who had did that in Florida, that just happened a week ago, we know that these black women, these black female content creators would be talking about it. We know they'd be bashing black men, using it as their way to bash the collective of black men. And I normally I wouldn't name any content creators, but I'm gonna just name them because I have to let y'all know the hypocrisy of these people so y'all can know these niggas is full of shit. These savages is full of shit. Your Nyla Sezes would be talking about it. Your Cynthia G's would be talking about it. Your Black Woman Spheres would be talking about it. What's that other chick's name? I mean, I don't really know all their names on top of my head. I think, what's her name? She's actually like got quite of a following. Damn. Oh yeah, Paris Milan. She'd be talking about it. All of those female content I just mentioned will be talking about it. They'd be making endless goofy ass videos talking about the black man harming the black woman. They be making endless goofy ass live streams talking about the black man harming the black woman. But since it was a white man, none of those content creators I just mentioned talked about it. Not one. All of them I mentioned. You can go check their. I haven't actually checked all of them, but I don't even got to check it because I know the mindset of these. I know the mindset of these women, man. I know how these niggas think. Because as David Carroll says when he says, "I've studied you niggas. I've done the same. I have studied you niggas. I know how y'all think. I know what y'all are suffering from. I know the problems, the mental illnesses that y'all suffer from. And because I understand these things, I know these niggas didn't talk about it. Because I know the mindset when it comes to white zaddy. And I'm gonna explain that later on in this video. But I know why they didn't cover it, and I know they didn't cover it. And I will explain that. But I know they didn't cover it. You can go check right now. You can click up this video, go check all the content creators as I mentioned. They didn't talk about it. I can assure you. I'm confident, 100%. I can bet everything that I can bet everything that I own currently that they didn't talk about it. I can guarantee you. And the reason I can say that with such confidence is because I know how they think. So I know they didn't talk about it. I know they didn't address it. None of them. None of the divestors. You can go on any of the black female content creators, one of those divesting broads. They ain't talk about it. None of them. But a black man, they'll talk about it. And that brings me to the second part of this video. And as you see the title. And now just recently what we've had that has occurred is we've had a black man who has killed two black women. One of them who was pregnant and one of them who was not. One of them, I believe, was his pregnant girlfriend, and one of them was his ex-wife. And basically, I guess he made a video before he did it or something like that, where he was talking about all the things they were putting him through, the allegations that they were, I guess they were accusing him of being a rapist, like a pedophile, and all. They were basically doing things to ruin his life. So finally, he snapped, and he ended up killing his pregnant girlfriend, and he ended up killing his ex-wife. And I think there was some shit with like custody and child support and all sorts of shit he was talking about. And basically all of that combined caused him to snap, and he killed both of them. The pregnant girlfriend and his ex-wife. He killed both of them, and then after that, he killed himself. So it was a murder-suicide. And, the only reason I'm even making this video, because I wasn't even gonna talk about this, but I'm foreshadowing what's coming. Once I read that story and looked at that, I was like, oh shit, I see it. I already see it because I know how you niggas think, man. Y'all dumb. I know y'all not the brightest. Blacks are the dumbest race on the planet. So I'm sorry, but it's just true. So I understand you niggas and how, especially when it comes to these black female content creators, especially these black women on social media. They are by far the dumbest motherfuckers on the globe. So I know what their reaction is gonna be because I've studied you niggas. So once I read that story, I knew right away. Guess who's gonna talk about it? I'm gonna mention all these content creators. Maybe not all of them will talk about it, but I guarantee you at least one of them will. Once I saw that story, I'm like, okay, here we can. I'm gonna put this in your lap. The hypocrisy. The white man that killed the black woman in Florida, dumped her body in the woods. They didn't talk about that. Let that have been a black man, like I said, they would have been making endless goofy ass videos. But they didn't talk about that because it was a white man. I'm gonna explain why later they didn't. But a white man, they didn't talk about it. Y'all see, they didn't talk about it. Red Supreme was even saying. Yeah, I was watching his live he did on it. Like, why ain't none of them talking about it? They ain't talk about it. So let's check the list. They didn't talk about the white man killing the black woman. Now they claim they care about black women and their safety, but when a white man kills a black woman, they don't say nothing. That's because they really don't care about black women. I'll go further into that later on in the video. But the white man does it, they don't say nothing. Now we got this black man who's killed some black women. One of which they want to, you know, in the headline they want to mention that she was pregnant. Now I'm gonna tell y'all what's coming down the pipe, as David Carroll would say. I'm gonna foreshadow what's coming down the pipe. So the white man kills the black woman, they say nothing. And mind you, it's been multiple stories, but I'm just talking about the one that's happened in this past week. There was another one that happened actually the past week as well, and some other ones that have happened some months ago, but I'm not gonna mention those right now. We're just gonna talk about the one white man that's recently happened in Florida that killed a black woman, dumped her body in the woods. They didn't talk about that. Y'all see that? Check. I'm confident. Go check their channel. They didn't talk about it. Check. They didn't talk about that. But now we got this black man, and I can guarantee y'all what's coming down the pipe. All of these black female content creators, they about to make videos on it. Nyla says is gonna make a video on it. I can guarantee you. Cynthia G gonna bring her crusty ass, make a video on it. Paris Milan, she might talk about it. What's her name? The Black Woman Sphere, she might talk about it. All of these broads, they gonna talk about it. I'm not sure if all of them will, but I guarantee you at least one of them will. I with 100% confidence, I can guarantee you it. And the reason is because I know how these niggas think. When a black man harms a black woman, they want to act like, oh, here we can go. We can bash these niggas. But when a white man does it, they say nothing. This is the hypocrisy. And I want y'all to focus on this point and this point alone. That right there shows you they don't care about black women. They don't care about black women being harmed. They don't care about black women being killed. They don't care about black women at all. It's all about money, and it's all about venting their hatred for black men for whatever reason in their life. Either, if whether it's their hatred of black men or they mad because they can't get no man. So apparently now it's all black men's fault. Whatever it is, they are going to use any situation to bash black men. And I want y'all to know that when they're talking about black men harming black women, they don't care about that. It has nothing to do with that. They are only using it as their way to attack the collective of black men. They don't care about black women. They don't care. It's the hypocrisy, because if they did care, they would talk about when white men kill black women, and they would make videos on it just like they would when it's a black man. They don't care about black women at all. Now we got that straight. Now that we understand that these hypocritical broads do not care about black women at all, they don't care about their safety, they don't give a fuck about black women. That is not debatable, because if they cared about black women, they would talk about it when a white man kills a black woman. That shows they don't care. They are engaging in selective outrage, and they are hypocrites. They don't care about the safety of black women. So we got that straight. Now I'm gonna address, and I want to point this out as to why they will not talk about when a white man kills a black woman. We're gonna get into it. And the picture on the screen kind of gives it away. But the reason is because all of those women that I mentioned, for the most part, I believe that most of those women that I mentioned, for the most part, all of those content creators I mentioned, and especially their viewers, that watch them, they're never gonna hold a white man accountable for harming black women, because they worship the white man as God. As David Carroll has said, as the Honorable David Carroll has said, his white skin covers a multitude of imperfections and sins. So it doesn't matter if he kills black women. He's white. It doesn't matter if he rapes black women. He's white. It doesn't matter if he rapes black children. He's white. It doesn't matter if he prostitutes black women. He's white. It doesn't matter what he does. His white skin covers all that shit. His white skin covers a multitude of imperfections and sins. There's nothing wrong that the white man can do. He is God in the eyes of the black woman. As David Carroll says, they viewed the white man as God. Okay? So y'all have to understand it does not matter what he does, no matter what crimes he commits, he is instantly absolved of anything because he is white. And I know a lot of y'all might be wondering, okay, well, okay, they just because he's white, they don't say anything about what he does. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, there has to be more to this. Well, let me explain. Because I'm gonna make another video right after this one, and I'm gonna go deeper in, and I'm gonna do an exposing of one of these content creators, Cynthia G. Because I want to expose her mindset, and I want to expose what's her problem. I'm actually about to do that. I'm about to do a thorough investigation of a lot of these content creators and just expose their psychology. But I'm gonna expose why it is that when a white man commits crimes against black men, why they say nothing and why they worship the white man as God. What you must first understand is a lot of these black female content creators on social media and a lot of their viewers, what we have to understand is a lot of these women who claim to be divested and swirling, they watch a lot of these women. They watch the Paris Milans, they watch the Nyla Cezes, they watch the Cynthia G's. That's a lot of what their fan base is, and those content creators have to pander to their audience, knowing that they have a hatred of black men. Even if the content creator themselves doesn't have that much of a hatred for black men, they will pander to their audience, knowing that the majority of the women that watch them, a majority of those apes, they hate all black men. They're dumb. They possess low IQs. They're not all that bright. Black people in general are fucking stupid. But that's a whole nother video in itself. So they understand the audience they're dealing with is some low IQ savages, and they understand that they can pretty much push any agenda and they will follow it. It doesn't matter what they present to them. It doesn't matter how hypocritical they are. It doesn't matter how dumb they sound. They understand that their audience is even dumber. So knowing this, you have to understand a lot of these divestors watch these women. And a lot of these black men, I got to make a separate video on, just in general when it comes to the self-hatred of these black women. But a lot of these divestors and a lot of them, they're suffering from self-hatred. They're suffering from self-hatred and they're projecting it onto black men. This is why they have so much vitriol towards the black men, because they're projecting their self-hatred of themselves onto black men. The black man is basically a reflection of themselves. So they are projecting. It's almost as if they're looking in the mirror and they're just spewing hatred at that mirror, because this is what they're doing. They hate themselves. How can I show this? As I've said in this video, when a white man kills a black woman, they say nothing. Now, I've said they worship the white man as God. And the reason that they worship the white man as God is because the white man, they view him as God because he has the ability to erase that which they loathe. And what is that? Their blackness. They hate being black. You can see this all over YouTube. They always find a way to absolve the white man of anything, to bash black men, to basically, I mean, a lot of these women, they're going around, they're wearing weaves, they're wearing wigs. They don't feel comfortable wearing their own hair. They got 80,000 pounds of makeup on. They a lot of these women, they're dark skinned and they feel as if they're not, beautiful, because as we know in this society, and it's just how it is. Y'all should expect this. I don't understand why these niggas, but I understand why these women complain about it. It's because they wish they were white women. But you have to understand, you're living in a majority white country, so the standard of beauty is always going to be the white woman. I mean, what do y'all expect? What else do y'all want? The white woman is going to be the standard of beauty in this country, really the whole world, but that's a whole nother video. So the white woman is going to be the standard of beauty. She's going to be seen as the most beautiful woman on the face of the planet, really. Her phenotype is going to be exalted. This is what it's going to be. And because of that, these women are mad. Because of that, these women are triggered. And they want to be the white woman. They want to at the best they can, mimic her in any way they can. Now they can sit around and say they're not doing this all day, but at the end of the day, this is what they aspire to do. This is what they aspire to be. This is why they're going around wearing blonde weave, wearing color contacts, bleaching their skin. They hate their dark skin, and basically, it's gotten to the point to where now they're losing it, man. These women are losing their minds. So they're all over social media. They're making goofy ass movements, the divest movement. They're basically putting their self hatred front and center for the world to see. They're letting everybody know we don't like ourselves. We want to get with White Zaddy to erase our blackness and make, as David Carroll would say, half breed Mongol babies with green eyes and good hair. They losing their mind. They snapping. A lot of these niggas need to be put in mental asylums. That goes for a lot of these black men too. In general, you niggas, all the black race is fucked up. So in general, all of you niggas, y'all, a lot of y'all niggas is fucked up. But that's a whole nother video as well. So, but particularly on these black women, they're losing it, man. They, they a lot of these women, they're chronically single, man. They losing it, man. A lot of these women, they in unhappy relationships, even if they are in one. They down bad. They desperately chasing White Zaddy, and he ain't checking for them like that. As much as they want to push the propaganda of them divesting, if they were so happily divested, they wouldn't be online all day talking shit on black men. They wouldn't be doing it. These women are losing it. So the white man is the gateway for them to erase their blackness. This is why they worship him as God. This is why they, I mean, there's many other reasons too, but that's one of the reasons why they worship him as God. And because of that, they're never gonna talk shit on the white man. They view him as God. They're never gonna talk about when he harms black women. He is absolved of all his crimes. Doesn't matter what he does. As you see on the picture of the screen, these are these black women on social media. This is the divestors. This is what you seeing right here. This picture make me laugh every time I look at it because David Carroll makes his memes to where it's funny, but it's true. Like it's laughable. Like looking at this, you will laugh. But at the same time, this is literally what it is. Like this is how they react when it comes to Brad. This is them. It's funny when you're looking at it. It's looking kind of hilarious, but this is 100% fact. This is them. So basically, you have to understand. As I've said, what's coming down the pipe. All the content creators I mentioned in this video, they are going to make goofy ass videos about that black man who killed those two black women. But guess what they won't do? Guess what they won't do? They won't make a video on these white men killing black women. So what does that show you? They are hypocrites. In these videos that y'all are going to see, for any of y'all who may see them, know that it doesn't matter. And what I mean by it doesn't matter is I'm not saying that those black women who were killed, that doesn't matter. That's very tragic. That was fucked up. I mean, it is what it is. You know, hey, the dude killed himself, so I mean, he can't even really be. I mean, hey, I guess he killed himself, so whatever happens to him in the afterlife, I don't know. But what he did is definitely something that would not be looked on favorably to a righteous God. So whatever happens to him in the afterlife, it is what it is. But all three of them are dead, including the unborn child. And before I end this video, because I'm about to wrap this up, before I end this video, man, another thing that's gonna come down the pipe, man. I know how these niggas think. If they do talk about it, they're gonna make it a big deal about the woman being pregnant, one of the women who was killed being pregnant. But those same women that I mentioned, at least I believe Nyla Says and Cynthia G, they going around talking about aborting black oh shit, my stuff almost went off. They're going around talking about aborting black males. So you have to understand, they're gonna probably make it a big deal that woman was pregnant, but they have no problem with talking about killing babies. So there's so much hypocrisy with all this shit. But like I said, but I know it's coming. They're gonna make videos on it. Guarantee you, Nyla Says gonna make a video on that black man. Guarantee you, Cynthia G will. Guarantee you, Paris Milan will. The Black Woman's Fear. I can guarantee you, they're gonna make a video on it, and they're gonna engage in hypocrisy. They're not gonna address when a white man does it. When a white man harms a black woman, they're never going to talk about it. They're never going to, you notice, they're never going to bash all white men when a white man does it. If a white man harms a black woman and it gets to the point to where they just gotta address it, they're just gonna focus on that one white man. They ain't gonna bash all white men like they would bash all black men. Notice that. Even if they were to talk about it. And then even if another thing they'll do if they were to talk about it is they'll blame black men for it, even though it has nothing to do with black men. And even though they worship the white man as God, so the black man shouldn't even be in the equation. That's your God, right? That's your God. So see, no matter what, they will never hold the white man accountable for harming black women. But they will talk shit when the black man harms the black woman, showing you they don't care about the safety of black women. They don't care about black women being harmed. And this is why I say that the niggas who watch those female content creators and they look at all their content and they analyze it and take it in and they don't notice the hypocrisy in it, it just shows you that, as I've said, you niggas is the dumbest motherfuckers on the globe. And this is why only a remnant of you niggas are going to make it. This is why only a small percentage of blacks are really going to get it together. And the rest of these niggas are just going to, hey, hey, whatever happens to them is going to happen, but they're not going to have any lineage that is going to mean anything. They're just going to they're going to perish away in foolishness and continue to wallow in debauchery and stupidity. Now, the blacks that will get their shit together will know to separate from the rest of these niggas, these fucking savages. But them niggas, they going to continue to just be dumb, wallowing in mental illness and self-hatred, and they will never take accountability for their own actions, and they will never address their own self-hatred and their own problems. That's what's gonna be. But in conclusion of this video, because I've been going on for a while, what's coming down the pipe, those content creators I just mentioned will probably talk about that black man harming that black woman, those black women killing them, rather. But what they won't do is talk about that white man in Florida who killed that black woman and dumped her body in the woods. And y'all know if that was a black man who did that, they would have talked about it. So we know when it's a white man that kills a black woman, they say nothing. When it's a black man, they want to make it seem like it's the worst thing that's ever occurred, letting you know they are hypocrites and they don't care about black women and their safety. Anybody who knows that, anybody who has a fucking functioning brain and can fucking analyze information at even a goddamn second grade level can understand this shit and see, yeah, that's pretty hypocritical. So with that being said, y'all should know that any videos y'all see from these savages coming down the pipe they're full of shit. They don't care. All those content creators I just mentioned, they never talk about when white men harm black women. So you know they are full of shit and they don't care about black women at all. It don't matter what they say in their videos. That alone, about the whole hypocrisy of them only talking about it when a black man does it, but when a white man does it, they say nothing. That point alone discredits their entire channel, because all their channels do is talk about black men. So we know if they never talk about the white man doing anything, we know they're hypocrites. We know they don't care about black women's safety, because if they did, as I said, they would talk about it when a white man kills a black woman as well, because it wouldn't be about the race. It would be about the overall safety of black women, if they actually cared about it, which they don't. So in conclusion, these women are all full of shit. Their channel I really just debunked all those women's channels right now. I don't even have to do a thorough breakdown of the channels that I'm going, because I am going to do a breakdown. Some of these women, you know, I've listened to pretty much all of them before, so I already know pretty much all the talking points, and I'm going to make videos and debunk their shit. I don't know if any of them have changed, because I haven't watched a lot of these women in a long time, but for the most part, their shit remains the same, because they don't have any, they don't possess any talent, but just talking shit on black men. So they haven't changed, I know, because I know these niggas and how they think. So I'm gonna do a thorough breakdown on them, but I really don't have to. I mean, I just debunked their channels right now. I mean, that alone debunks them. That alone debunks them. But I'm gonna wrap this video up. I told you I was coming down the pipe, and I will be proven right, because I know how these niggas think. So in conclusion, I'm gonna end this video. These niggas, man. It amazes me, these niggas, man. It really amazes me, man. These. Let me stop before I keep going, because I'm gonna say something I shouldn't say. I mean, I've already said shit I probably shouldn't say, but I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. The hypocrisy is real, and it's at an all-time high, and you shouldn't be surprised. I'm out.